Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We do apologize for the issue. Apparently, Time Warner Cable has been having some internet issues tonight. Do apologize on that behalf, having to do a two-parter here. But we are back in action. And Marcus Richardson still your race leader up in the front. Went to a completely different paint scheme there. This is due to some of the fits that we're having with the issues, but he is running a Taylor Swift paint scheme. Alex Peck to 59 in second. Freddie De La Rosa back there in third. Nicholas Coruscant in fourth. Ariati, the 78 car, now makes his way up to the top five. Led 35 laps early on in this race. Fell back, I should say, as far as 11th position. Had a couple of cautions and has now gained his way back up into the top five slot. Clicking over to lap number 63. Bobby Zielinski making his way to the bumper of that 78 car. Zielinski currently third in points coming into tonight's race. And look at the battle between De La Rosa and Coruscant. Coruscant to the lower groove. De La Rosa to the way high groove through turn number 4. And he's going to lose out as Nicholas Coruscant now picks up third position going into lap number 64. Coming out of turn number 2, the 59 of Alex Peck down the back straightaway. Currently in second position, about 0.6 of a second behind the number 2 of Marcus Richardson as he goes into turn number 3. Slowly but surely picking up those 100ths as he was coming out of turn number 4, but now looks like he's losing them. Down the back straightaway comes the 59 of Alex Peck, the 53 of Nicholas Coruscant, the 72 of Freddie De La Rosa. And a little side-by-side action here with Ronnie Norman, the 47 car to the high side. Ducharme will take the apron and be back up just a little bit out in front of the 47. Bobby Cheney, 24 car, currently 3 laps down. As we go down the back straightaway to the inside, Tyler Ducharme with a nice aggressive move to the inside of that 47 car will have the position. So Tyler Ducharme in 7th position. It's pretty much where he's been running all night. The 47 of Ronnie Norman will fall to 8th. Bobby Zielinski still in your top 5 slot. Has the 25 of Ducharme behind him, which Ariati is back there in 6th position. Delonte Ballard down there on pit road had some issues as well. Bobby Cheney to the inside of Ronnie Norman, currently running in 12th position, 3 laps down. One of the chase drivers denoted by the little puzzle pieces down there underneath his number and on the front splitter of the car. Ryan Hunt, the 50 car, was up in the top 5 as well before the major server hiccup, I'll call it. Marcus Richardson now almost up to a second lead over the 59 of Alex Peck as he works his way down the backstretch towards turn number 3 here on lap number 69. They are spread out in a decent gap here. Down the backstretch towards turn number 3. Zelensky trying to close the gap on the 72 of De La Rosa. Zelensky just 0.2 of a second behind that 72 car as they come across the front stretch. Marcus Richardson now as we take a look at this driver's information. Give you a little bit of a look at his line. Just seeing how close he gets to that white line up front. Marcus Richardson tonight, 36 laps led here on lap number 72. Show you the, let's look at the rear side there, and you can see Alex Peck back on the track so far. Just about 1.3 seconds behind him. Let's look to the outside as he comes. Here he comes out to the outside. This is how close he gets to the wall right here. Look at that. So close our camera even bled into the wall. As he goes through the front stretch now, clicking over into lap number 74. 1.5 second lead for the number 2 of Marcus Richardson. Alex Peck into turns 1 and 2 now. And Freddie De La Rosa going to try to make an inside move with Zelensky behind him as he goes into turn number 3. Coruscant to the high side. That's going to open the doorway for 2 cars possibly to pass. Looked like he almost made contact with the wall coming out of turn number 4. And that Cool Whip 53 Toyota Camry of Nicholas Coruscant trying to hang on to that 3rd position slot. Still running that high groove and looking really good as they contour out. A little bit of contact between Zelensky and De La Rosa coming out of turn number 2. Ariati now in the mix. Still driving that paint scheme off that 78 Bass Pro Shops Toyota Camry. Out of turn number 4 now. Coruscant still in 3rd position. Zelensky and De La Rosa deadlocked until Ariati provided a little bit of bump draft for that 72 car. Now going to that high side of turns 1 and 2. Looks like Zelensky not going to have the momentum to beat out De La Rosa for 4th. De La Rosa still holds on to that 4th position slot as they go into turn number 3. Look at the battle down low. Nowhere for the 72 car to go. Up high. If Zelensky can pull some side draft off that 72, he'll be able to get around him as Coruscant comes down to possibly throw a block. Bobby Zelensky is going to be the only one taking the lower groove through turns 1 and 2. Here comes Ariati now down behind him. And Ariati trying to thread the needle as they split open just a little bit for him. You can tell he wants to get around Nicholas Coruscant to the high side. We got some 3-wide action out of turn number 4. And Ariati just trying to find a way around these guys. He's going to try the high side of De La Rosa. Oh, and an aggressive move to the inside. He wants to get around these cars. You could tell it. He's got a fast car. But these guys are just like an impenetrable wall. When he has an opportunity, he tries these aggressive moves, but it's not working out. As you now see the 25 of Tyler Ducharme making his way up to the bumper. Oh, and Coruscant getting a little bit loose. As De La Rosa, some 3-wide action out of the front stretch into turn number 1. Zelensky still on the low side. As Ariati, oh, we got a 3 train. And Ducharme's going to switch sides and go to the high side. De La Rosa now currently in 3rd position. Nice little 5-car battle for 3rd. I say 5-car because it could really go to any one of these guys. These are all pretty equal at the point. Even though De La Rosa begins to pull away just a little bit. Gonna have some bump draft off of these other cars. Some more three-wide action as now Tyler Ducharme is gonna make the aggressive move for turn number 3. And take a look at Ducharme. Was gonna try to be very aggressive, and it didn't work out for him. And now Ariati to the top 5 slot, right in front of Nick Corcel and Tyler Ducharme. Ducharme now edging back towards that 78 car as they come out of turn number 2. De La Rosa still up there in 3rd position. Bobby Zielinski now going to have to compete a little bit with Ariati in turn number 4. Ariati tried the inside move, did not work. That 78 car rallying back again, folks, last week in Iowa. He finished 15th position, lost 6 spots. That's right, 6 spots overall in points, falling from 4th to 10th. Now, it's all right in this round. The top 12 drivers went into the chase. But after next week, if he does not perform to get himself into the top 6 slots, he will not be battling 2 weeks in Las Vegas for that championship race. As the top 6 drivers overall in points coming out of next week will battle it out for 130 laps at Las Vegas Motor Speedway on the 26th. Or 23rd, excuse me. All by his lonesome up front, that Ford Fusion, the number 2 of Marcus Richardson, almost close to a 2-second lead over Alex Peck. Flicks over, and we now have 47 laps remaining in the race tonight. I can show you the race statistics, but they're not accurate to say. Add 2 to each number at the bottom 2 statistics there. So lead changes, we've actually had 4 lead changes and 3 cautions. We had a little bit of server hiccup if you're just tuning in. Out of the 83, now 84 laps completed. Marcus Richardson gets closer. 46 laps remain. There is the 59 of Alex Peck right behind him. We take you down to the front of the car. In car there with the 59 of Alex Peck. You can see he's got the number 2 of Marcus Richardson in his sights as he works his way through the turns. Getting close to that wall, coming out of turn number 4. And just that lap alone, he's gained about a 1/10 of a second on the number 2 car. Now Ariati back there in 3rd position, and you can see he's really driving the wheels off that Toyota Camry. Look how quick he is picking up time on Alex Peck. Look at this, coming out of turn number 4, he's getting closer and closer to that 59 car. Just 2/10 of a second behind him. .72 of De La Rosa behind him. As Zielinski's behind Freddie De La Rosa as they go into turn number 3. Tyler Ducharme, the 25 Pepsi Max Ford Fusion. Behind that Harley Davidson number 5 of Bobby Zielinski. 43 laps now remain. So as the drivers look pretty spaced out as far as the gap's concerned. We are going to move to a short commercial break, folks. When we come back, we'll have some more race action for you. Don't go anywhere. Thanks for sticking with us here tonight on the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network. We'll be back after these commercial breaks.
some noise. Gentlemen, start your engines.
AMSLeague.com is the premier iRacing league for action-packed racing from green to checkered. Prepare yourself to start every week right with the AMSLeague.com Wounded Warrior Project Cup Series, Tuesday nights at 9:20 Eastern Time, right here exclusively on the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network. You will not find a better connected oval league and community in the iRacing service. AMSLeague.com provides the highest level of competitive racing while holding true to our Have Fun First motto. Prepare yourself for the best Tuesday night oval racing on Sim Racing Earth at AMSLeague.com. Also, check out our Monday Night Truck Series and Wednesday IndyCar Series. And remember, you can watch all of our Wounded Warrior Project Cup Series races live, right here on the Digital Forge Racing Network. AMSLeague.com. A premier iRacing league with a great group of drivers.
Welcome back to Chicagoland as we now see a battle for second position, and Ariotti to the inside of Alex Peck. We'll take the apron here with 35 laps to go. And, oh, he's going to get loose! Really aggressive driving there on the 78 car. And just as he was making progress to get second position, he's going to fall back to fourth. But he does have a little bit of time, though, as David Shutt currently is the driver behind him. As we see Ariotti move into turn number 3, there is David Shutt now making his way into turn number 3. So he had a little bit of room for error. Marcus Richardson now making his way down pit road after 60 laps total led. Will come in for the final pit stop of the night pending any cautions. This should be his final green flag pit stop. And Ariotti following suit as well. Marcus Richardson now off of pit road. We'll be heading out. There goes Ariotti and David Shutt. Here comes Ronnie Norman and the rest of the gang now in for their pit stops. We see Alex Peck, Bobby Zielinski, and Ryan Hunt hit their pit stalls. Ryan Hunt looks like he's blocking Alex Peck. A little shuffle action going on right now. Bobby Zielinski in second position. Tyler Ducharme in third. Once everybody crosses the start-finish line, we'll give you a top 5 rundown as we now see the number 2 of Marcus Richardson out of turn number 4. Down the front stretch, it'll be 32 laps to go. He now works his way into turns 1 and 2. Let's take a look at the top 5. There it is on your bottom left. So Marcus Richardson in first, Bobby Zielinski second, Tyler Ducharme, Nick Coruscant, and Brett Pancari rounding out your top 5. A name we haven't seen tonight. Pancari back there in 5th. Running that 37 car as he comes down the front stretch. Got a Blue Jays paint scheme, baseball paint scheme there on his car, that Toyota Camry, as he works his way through turn number 2. As an approaching Freddie De La Rosa from behind, and Ariotti. So Ariotti was in 4th position before the pits, and look at the aggression into turn number 3 from that 78 Bass Pro Shops car, as he's definitely trying to get back towards the front. Right behind that 37 of Pancari, he goes into turn number 1. Pancari looked a little loose. And now Ariotti to the inside. Turn number 2 will have Alex Peck behind him. And Ariotti picks up 6th position, and he continues to dig through the field. Now to the inside of Nick Coruscant goes the 72 of De La Rosa. Out of turn number 4. We're following the 78 of Ariotti here as he continues to make his way through the field. As Alex Peck behind him, Nick Coruscant in front of him. Freddie De La Rosa in 4th position. Running that Club Sport Chevrolet as he works his way into turn number 4. Tyler Ducharme, just about at 1.1 seconds, now 1.2 seconds behind Bobby Zielinski. As he now works his way into turn number 3, Zielinski into 4. So if you've been watching all night or just tuning in, folks, Marcus Richardson's your series points leader. Tyler Ducharme, who's currently running in 3rd, is 2nd in points, moving up 5 position last week in Iowa. Ducharme finished 3rd at Iowa last week, so that helped propel him up to the 2nd place slot in points. Zielinski, sitting in 3rd, finished 4th last week at Iowa. Alex Peck finished 4th, or sitting in 4th position, finished 5th. So a lot of these guys that you're seeing in the top 5 slots pretty much are your usual finishers that are around the top of the field, and hence why they're now at the top in points. A couple of drivers that have called it quits for tonight that were up there in the chase. Delonte Ballard, currently sitting in 13th position. Number 21 car tonight was coming in, picking up 5 total slots in points, sit in the top 5 in points. We'll have a devastating hit here tonight. Bobby Chaney, though he's 3 laps down, lost 3 position in points, so he was in 8th. We'll look to gain some here tonight. So it's going to be a very dramatic finish at the end of the night to say where all these guys are going to end up in points. And next week when we go into Daytona to see where everybody's going to sit once everything gets cemented here out of Chicagoland. And you can expect to see some great racing take place next week at that restrictor plate track as we go from 12 to 6 before the championship race in 2 weeks at Las Vegas. With 23 laps to go, coming out of turn number 2, the number 2 of Marcus Richardson down the backstretch towards turn number 3. See that? 70 laps total led here tonight. We take you down on board there, that number 2 car. Nothing but wide open road with the number 2 car. Showing you how close he is running in turn number 3 and 4 when he gets down to that line. And not quite going to have some apron action there. He's got about a 4 3/4 second lead over the 5 of Bobby Zielinski. We'll jump back on board with the number 5 car. You see, that's Marcus Richardson going into turn number 3 now as Bobby Zielinski makes his way halfway down the backstretch and into turn number 3. You can hear more stress here on the 5 car and his tires, where Marcus Richardson, it almost looks like he's just doing it smooth, but here you can just hear the stress on those tires when he now falls back to 5 seconds behind the race leader. So with 19 laps to go, Marcus Richardson still your race leader. Tyler Ducharme back there in third has Bobby Chaney ahead of him. Freddie De La Rosa in fourth, and Alex Peck in the top 5 slot. We're going to take a short commercial break, folks. When we come back, we'll have some more race action for you. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back. Welcome back to Chicagoland this Monday night, folks. Appreciate you tuning in here to the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network. Caution flag with about 17 laps to go came out with some debris off of turn number 4. That's going to allow the cars to bunch back up. Zielinski was as far back as 5 seconds behind Richardson before the caution flag was flown. Bobby Chaney will be receiving a wave around. Will be 3 laps down. Pace car crossing that start-finish line. Lights come off. They begin bunching back up. It's going to be Zielinski to the inside of Richardson. Richardson will have the pace. Della Rosa will be to the outside of Ducharme. And Pancari will be to the outside of Peck. Coruscant to the outside of Norman. And it looks like Hunt will be to the outside of Schutt. And Bobby's Ariotti back there in 11th position. Had a bad pit stop. You now see that these guys are ready to race. It'll be 13 laps to go when the green flag flies. Richardson been solid on the restarts. He's had a total of 78 laps led here tonight. Bobby Zielinski looking to pick up his first lap lead. Pace car will be heading into the pits this time around as they're now through turn number 4. And there it goes. Green flag's back in the air. Tyler Ducharme with an aggressive move to the inside. Well, he's going to try to pass Bobby Zielinski. Zielinski trying to throw the block, and that's going to allow Marcus Richardson to get away. And Ducharme will pick up second position. Oh, and Norman's going to get wrecked. Ariotti end over end. My goodness, folks, this is a major wreck. So we're going to take you back to the restart as we'll be following the 47 of Ronnie Norman. See exactly what happened. Everybody is just everywhere heading into the first. Little bump action there. Ronnie Norman through turns 1 and 2 has his 37 of Brett Pancari. And Pancari is going to get into the wall, and he's going to come down into Norman. Norman's going to be blocking Coruscant. Ariotti. Take a look at this, folks. Ariotti right here. This is going to ruin his night. So he goes over Coruscant, and this car is just going to go. He's in turtle mode now. He's got his wheels in the air. Comes back down. He's going to net code through Ronnie Norman, and take a look at this. He's going to go end over end here. Really banged up Toyota Camry there, the 78 of Ariotti. And folks, that may have just put the nail in the coffin to his chase hopes. Ronnie Norman up there has a lot of damage on his car as well. See the banged up and scrapes there on the side. We take a look at Pancari. One of the guys initially involved, he's going to come out with minimal damage. Coruscant down there on pit road. Looks like it's pretty much a blown motor for him in that 53 Cool Whip car. So Marcus Richardson, still your race leader. Looks like Pancari has called it quits. Ariotti. See if we can bring Ariotti in and maybe get a little perspective on tonight. It's been a tough night, but we'll see if we can get a word with them. Ariotti, this is Dustin Caldwell. You there?
Hey, how's it going?
Definitely could tell by the tone of your voice, and sorry to hear the night you had. It seemed like just as far as you were digging through that field, you kept getting punched back in the positions here tonight. Did the car seem like it was getting looser as it went on, or how did things pan out, or what were some of the issues you were having there with your car?
Well, I restarted after the first caution came out. I got into the bumper of shut, and the cars are just so on edge. It just as soon as it unloaded, it just went around the front and just went around, and then I got myself stuck in the back of the field and just couldn't stop making mistakes. And coming off of turn 2 on that last caution there, it was just really, really loose, and I just lost control, just lost talent. So.
Well, it didn't help the fact that we had some guys wrecking in front of you as well. But looks like tonight possibly could finish maybe 8th, 9th position. So currently 10th in points. You had some guys, 2 drivers there, Delonte Ballard being one of them in the chase that finished early that you'll finish ahead of. What can we expect going into Daytona next week?
Chaos. I really don't know. I'm just going to try to get as many points as I can, just like I was trying to tonight, and just try to keep the mistakes out of my race.
All right, well, tough break here, buddy. Sorry to hear all the chaos ahead, but good work digging through that field when you could. You really came back, from deep in the field to get back up into that top 5 a few times here tonight. Is there any shout-outs you want to give while we got you?
Yeah, I appreciate you broadcasting. I can't wait to see the rest of this race and then go back and watch the beginning of it. It's going to be a lot of fun, and thanks to all the drivers out in SRA who came out tonight.
All right, appreciate it, Ari. We'll see you next week at Daytona.
Sounds good. Appreciate it, Dustin.
There you have it, folks. You can tell by the tone of his voice, Ariotti, the 78 Toyota Camry running that Bass Pro Shops paint scheme here tonight. Very devastating hit late here in the race. Worked his way back many a times to the top 5, and unfortunately met with a incident out of turn number 2. A few other drivers got loose and went end over end, and that pretty much ended his night. Paint's car coming out of number 4. Richardson and Ducharme up front.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flags in the air. We have 8 laps remaining in the race. And Ducharme already throwing the block to Zelensky. De La Rosa to the high side. What a hectic night it has been here, folks. Taking a look, we started the field with 19 cars and we're only down to 8. Seven laps now remain as Richardson comes across the start-finish line. Ducharme in second. What a battle for third between Zelensky and De La Rosa in turns 1 and 2. Zelensky in the middle groove is going to win out for the few turns. And into the straightaway they go. De La Rosa to the inside. He's going to try that aggressive move into the turn number 3. Ducharme comes down, senses the impending pass, so he'll throw the lower block to De La Rosa. Zelensky to the high side, and they both go down to the apron, Ducharme and De La Rosa. Here comes Zelensky and Peck to the high side in turns 1 and 2. Who's going to win this battle? Ducharme currently sitting in second position. And a 4-car battle here for second position, as any one of these guys can easily take it. Peck's now to the inside of De La Rosa through turn number 4. De La Rosa's going to win that battle, and Zelensky now goes to second position as a little contact's made between the 25 of Ducharme and Freddie De La Rosa. In turn number 1 goes the number 5 of Bobby Zelensky. David Shutt to the backside of Alex Peck as they come out of turn number 2. 5 laps remain. It'll be 4 to go when Richardson crosses that start-finish line. Richardson not too far ahead, just 3/4 of a second ahead of the number 5 car of Bobby Zielinski. Crosses that start-finish line. 4 laps remain here in Chicagoland. This is the Chase race number 2 of the Autism Awareness Series. Appreciate you tuning in here to the Digital Forge Broadcast Network, folks. It's going to be a 2-part race for the second race of the Chase series, so had to do it in 2 parts. It was so good. Bobby Zielinski now 0.8 of a second behind the number 2 of Marcus Richardson as they go through 3 and 4. Behind him is the 72 of Freddie De La Rosa, who's trying to hold off the 25 of Tyler Ducharme, who in turn is trying to hold off the 59 of Alex Peck as they work their way towards turn number 1. Alex Peck to the inside of Tyler Ducharme. Is he going to try to have enough momentum to make that pass? Coming down the back straightaway. He's looking for it. Ford and Chevy battle back here for 4th position, and it looks like Ducharme will win that battle in turn number 4. 3 laps now remain. I tell you what, let's subtract 1 more. 2 laps for the number 2 remain as Richardson crosses that start-finish line. Now he's through turn number 2. The guy's so quick I can't even keep up to match it. Down the back straightaway he goes towards turn number 3. It'll be the white flag now for Marcus Richardson when he crosses that start-finish line. Bobby Zielinski, 0.6 of a second behind him. Here they come. Ladies and gentlemen, the white flag is in the air for the number 2 of Marcus Richardson. 1 more lap to go. A guy tonight here that has led 91 total laps. Marcus Richardson, just 2 more turns to go as he comes out of turn number 2 into the back straightaway. Makes his way now into turn number 3. 1 more turn for the number 2, and here comes Marcus Richardson in that Taylor Swift Ford Fusion. To the line, the checkered flag in the air, and Marcus Richardson, your series points leader, takes victory in the second round of the Chase here at Chicagoland. Bobby Zielinski in second, and Freddie De La Rosa, a good hard-fought battle for that 72 car as he finishes 3rd, and Alex Peck 4th, and it looks like David Shutt may have snuck up in the top 5 at the last minute. So the number 2 car doing his victory lap will swing it around to do a nice burnout through the grass. He's excited here. And he'll continue to do his victory burnout. That is your winner right there. Marcus Richardson, the Atlantic driver tonight. 92 total laps led. And take a look at that, folks. His fastest lap tonight was a 29.26. His last lap, a 29.86. Not a lot of fall off for this number 2 car here tonight. He started on the pole and took victory. It's always a difficult feat to overcome. But played through all the cautions here tonight. To show you the race statistics there in your bottom left. Add 2 to everything, so 8 total lead changes and 5 total cautions out of the race here tonight. And Richardson still happy, continuing to do a burnout down there. Good night there for the number 2 car. So let's go ahead and go to our 3rd place finisher here tonight. The number 72 car here was able to overcome all the obstacles. Freddie, you worked your way through the field here tonight. You did an excellent job. Found yourself in the top 10 pretty much all night long. Some really good side-by-side battles. You made that high groove work really well at times. You made the low groove work really well at times. You were pretty much, I'll call you fickle at times because you were going the high side depending upon who you had around you, but it looked like you did really well. And my friend, you finished 3rd here at Chicagoland. Tell us how you feel.
Yeah, it feels good to finally race together. It was a privilege to race with these guys. It was a lot of fun. One point where like 4 of us or 5 of us side by side for about 10 laps. That was a hell of a lot of fun. And just looking forward to more races like this. Put them together and get used to racing these guys.
Well, you're one of the few drivers outside of the chase. Coming into tonight, I know you were 18th in points, kind of outside the top 12. How does it feel to be able to beat these guys in the chase round and pretty much throw a wrench in their plans of being up in the top spots?
Yeah, I don't really think about it too much. When you're racing, everybody's just the people you're racing. Doesn't matter if they're in the chase or not. But I can't race every Tuesday or every Monday because of the commitments that I have. Every time I have free time, I come and race. But it does feel good that I don't have a lot of time to practice. So the little time that I had to practice, be able to keep up with these guys, it feels really, really good.
Well, that little time you have to practice gets made up with some natural talent, my friend. You did an excellent job. What can we expect from you next week when we go into the old Daytona track?
Well, I'm about to take finals this week. I'm actually in school, and then after this week, I don't have finals anymore, so I'll be able to race on a weekly basis, at least for the summer. And Daytona's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be really unpredictable. I guess it's the right word for that. But I'm looking forward to that race, and I guess everybody's looking forward for that.
Well, we definitely can't wait to see what happens. It's a bumpy track, and a lot of things can happen with all the tension and the last race of the 12 chase round before we go to 6 in Las Vegas. But is there any shout-out you want to give while I got you on the line?
Let me give a shout-out to my Nork people, Reverend Bobby. I'll give a shout out to Bobby Zelensky. He's really supportive. Whenever I get on and race, I have a lot of fun racing with him every time I get on. And I guess that's about it.
All right, and I think Jason Shipman out there was looking for a shout out as well. But Freddie, congratulations finishing third here in Chicagoland. A job well done, a very hard-fought battle. And somebody deserving of this spot here tonight, definitely you, my friend. We'll see you next week at Daytona.
Yep.
There you have it, folks. The 72 of Freddie De La Rosa coming in third position here tonight. Again, it was a hard-fought battle through this field and a very deserving position to finish third. We're now going to go to the guy who's driving that Harley-Davidson Motorsports Chevrolet, Bobby Zelensky, who coming into tonight was behind Tyler Ducharme in points. Third in points, you finished second here and ahead of Tyler Ducharme. Tell us, Bobby, what was your expectations coming into Chicagoland, and how do you feel with where you walked out?
I feel good about second. I always want to win these races, and it happens at times. But I just go out there, do the best I can do with the car. And today, second was about that, with how the cautions fell and all that. So I'm happy with it, especially in this 3-race chase where you got to be consistently up at front. And we're going to Daytona next week, so these first 2 races went pretty well. So getting fourth last week and second today. So to answer your question, yeah, I'm pretty happy about today.
Well, we go into Daytona next week, and ladies and gentlemen, it's not just any Daytona. This is the Circa 2007. This is the old Daytona track, as they call it. And I've had an opportunity to drive street stocks there, and I can tell you what, it's a very bumpy track. Not as smooth as some of these other tracks like we saw here tonight. What do you think is going to happen with these Gen 6 cars when we head into that track next week?
It's going to be pretty chaotic. It's really bumpy, and it's really sketchy in these things. And it's just really, it's not very wide, and the SRA does a good job of building some excitement for, to get your way into the championship race. But yeah, that's gonna be wild. I just need to stay out of the wrecks next week, and I think if I finish like top 10, I'm in the next round. So it'd be cool to win it as well. I've never won a restricted plate league race in any league, going back to console races, so it'd be cool to win. It's going to be insane, though.
Is there any shout-outs you want to give for your finish here tonight?
Well, I'll give a shout out to you for broadcasting and everybody for watching, and shout out to Marcus. He won last night, won today. He got a sweep, and he just ran. It felt like it was a really tight setup, and it was right in Marcus's wheelhouse. It seemed like, and give a shout out to everybody who runs the league.
All right, Bobby. Well, congratulations on your runner-up finish here. Hopefully, you can carry that momentum and catch a victory next week when we go into Daytona.
10-4. Thank you.
There you have it, folks. The Harley-Davidson Motorsports Chevrolet. Bobby Zielinski, the number 5 car, finishes second place here tonight. Now we are going to go live to our race winner. This guy is no stranger to finding himself up there in the number 1 spot in victory lane. And I think this was the track, Marcus, that we finished the last season on last year that you were able to win the championship on. And tonight, come back to Chicagoland, you find yourself in victory lane again. And being the leader in points, you're carrying a lot of momentum heading into that third race of this chase round.
Yeah, we did what we needed to do the first 2 races, just get solid finishes. I don't think I led a lap last week, just because I had bad pit strategy, but it didn't work out in my favor. But we got at least max points this race, so that'll pay dividends next week, hopefully, and hopefully we don't wreck, and should be fun. At least in one of these races I won't be on the bubble going into it.
Yeah, you definitely will have a lot of padding between you and that cutoff slot tonight. You led 92 laps here at Chicagoland. Very well done. Out ahead of all the cautions. You had gaps as far as 5 seconds at one point. I saw that you were leading Bobby Zielinski. So you definitely kept yourself away from all the harm that was on the track here tonight. I think we had 5 total cautions. But going into Daytona next week, you're going into a restrictor plate track. We talked about you when we went into Martinsville. Short tracks are not your deal. How do you feel about restrictor plate tracks, those super speedways, and not only that, but going back to the old Daytona track where it's really bumpy? What are you looking for as far as strategy and your expectations there?
I'm not really going to give up what my strategy is going to be, but I think I'm really good at understanding the draft and what it takes to be fast, and putting myself in the proper position to win the race. So from that standpoint, I think I'm fine. I haven't decided what I'm going to do strategy-wise. It really just depends on who's in the race and who I'm racing.
I guess when I say strategy, are you going to try to race hard to possibly go for a win? Or are you going to be more conservative and just try for a top 10 finish or something to that effect?
Well, see, that's the thing. I'm kind of in a good spot now because I can take a chance. So there's guys who are 6, 7. Well, pretty much everyone, I would say, second on back. Excuse me, they can't really do that. So if just throwing a name out there, if I didn't want David Shutt to make the chase and he was on the bubble, and if he needed that 1 point to get in front of me, then I'll make sure I try and stay in front of him as best I can so he doesn't get it. So just it's one of those things there. It's going to be interesting how people race.
And ladies and gentlemen, you think March Madness is competitive? Welcome to SRA and their chase. That is very competitive here. You guys put on a heck of a great show here tonight. Marcus, is there any shout-outs you'd like to give for your victory at Chicagoland?
First, give a shout-out to Eric. He was really quick that very first run. I thought the setup was going to get tight and it ended up getting loose, and I just wasn't ready for it and just burnt off my right rear tire. So sucks. I don't know what happened to him, but I was looking forward to him getting back up there. We were going to be able to race it hard once he stopped saving his tires. But thank you for broadcasting, and everybody at SRA for showing up, and whoever was watching. It was a lot of fun. Thank team owner Justin Gable for the awesome paint scheme, and everybody at Auto Targets on the Truck Series side. We'll see you next week.
All right. Well, Marcus, congratulations on your victory here tonight, and we'll see you next week when we roll into the third round of the chase at Daytona.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, folks, before we get out of here tonight, I want to try to see if we can get somebody we never ever get a chance to talk to, one of the guys behind the scenes, since we are in the chase, and everybody was working hard to get points out here tonight. One of the guys that works hard behind the scenes, Justin Gable, who's one of the guys that admins everything. We don't get a chance to talk to him from time to time, but Justin, you get to behind the race controls, had 5 cautions here tonight. How did things look from your perspective?
Not too bad. Kind of boring, interesting. Seeing how the cautions played out. For some people, like Delonte, that shouldn't have been a caution, but gotta do what I gotta do. I gotta park him. That today, Ari had a caution. Anthony, and then the last one I determined it was a race of deer because nothing Caressa could have done there.
Well, we go into next week to Daytona, and being up in that race control booth, you can already hear the sighs and the woos from the crowd as far as what we can expect. A lot of the guys talking about it being as bumpy and things getting hectic. Going to have some special beverages set aside for that race next week?
Probably going to have to start drinking alcohol.
All right, well, just want to thank you much for your time. Wanted to pull you in here and get a word with you on it because guys don't understand some of these guys that are behind the scenes, the work and the effort they got to do to corral everybody during a race. And just want to thank you, Justin, for your hard work that you do in racing from the race control perspective and keeping these guys in line.
Thanks.
There you have it, folks. Justin Gable, the race control guy, race admin behind the scenes. So, folks, that will close out all of our interviews here tonight. So let's take a look at our final results here in Chicagoland. Marcus Richardson walks out with a victory. Bobby Zielinski in second. Freddie Della Rosa third. Alex Peck fourth. And David Shutt rounds out your top 5. Tyler Duchar and Ryan Hunt. Bobby Cheney. Brent Pancari and Ariati. Tough finish for that 78 car will round out your top 10. Ronnie Norman, Nicholas Coruscant, Delonte Ballard, Jonathan Shipman, Anthony Emery, the 15. Alex Cheminade, a.k.a. Mr. Beach, comes in 16th. Caden Henry, Sean Williams, Femi Olot rounds out your field, and Justin Gable, your race control guy, back there, and we'll give him 20th position. How's that? Some great racing to come next week, folks, as the third round of this Chase Series continues at Daytona Circuit 2007 track. And in 2 weeks, the championship race of the top 6 in points will battle it out for 130 laps at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. If you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button out there on YouTube so you'll stay in the know as to when we go live. Like us on Facebook. Just look up Digital Forge Broadcasting Network. And as always, if you're interested in seeing what we're about in our broadcast schedule, check us out on the web at forgebroadcasting.com. But that will do it for us here tonight. I'm Dustin Caldwell saying thanks for tuning in to the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network, and we'll see you tomorrow night when the Anarchy Motorsports Wounded Warrior Cup Series comes back in action.